Hi guys, this is editorial analysis for 31st March 2017. There are many editorials today. Let's go to the first one. This is a mixture of several points from various newspapers, editorials in different newspapers. So I've just amalgamated all the points into one. It says that the Lok Sabha has assented the goods and services tax bill. The rollout is expected to be from July the 1st. It will replace multiple central and state level taxes, and it consists of four different bills actually. They are the central GST bill, the integrated GST bill, the union territories GST bill, and then there's one bill on the compensation to the states during the transition period. The ceiling rates are expected to be 0%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. Each of these rates would be the sum of central GST and state GST rates in the case of intra-state transfer, or the integrated GST rate in the case of interstate transfer. The council's the GST council's task is to ensure that the exempted list is as small and uniform as possible. The council, with votes weighted in favor of the states, is expected to operate consensually. The law allows the states a leeway to depart from the recommended state GST rates, even if that will dilute the spirit of the exercise. One of the way forward here, the author says, could be the use of software. The monthly filing of GST returns is auto-populated, which means that a registered supplier with a turnover of rupees 20 lakh and above must upload all details of his transactions along with the tax element, which can be accessed by the rest in his supply chain besides the tax authorities. It guarantees compensation to the states for 5 years for any revenue loss as well. The bill says that the residue amount left in the compensation fund after 5-year period will be shared equally between the center and the states. The GST rates exclude, as of now, it excludes real estate, electricity, alcohol, and petroleum products. The author says that the GST Council should bring them also under the tax net as soon as possible, under the GST net as soon as possible. Let's move on to the next editorial. It says that the Japanese conglomerate Toshiba, it has announced that the Westinghouse, the American nuclear major that it bought in 2006, has filed for bankruptcy. Therefore, the roadmap of the Indo-US nuclear deal is currently facing challenges. Under the deal, Westinghouse is slated to set up 6 nuclear reactors in Kovadda in Andhra Pradesh. The author suggests that it is best to completely keep away from agreeing to purchase the Westinghouse reactors, because as it is, Westinghouse has already delayed some of its other international contracts. Also, the local population of Kovadda is opposed to the nuclear power project. No creditors are expected to come forward and lend $7 billion needed to bankroll the India project in its first phase. The staff of Westinghouse is already looking for other jobs. And in terms of capital cost, each Westinghouse 1000 megawatt reactor will cost approximately 3 times the cost of 2 500 megawatt Indian designed heavy water reactors today, and it will cost 8 times the cost of equivalent coal-powered supercritical power plants. Not a single Westinghouse reactor is in operation anywhere in the world today, and we have no guarantee. We have no guarantee how many years it will take from construction to reach the assured level of reliability and safety before we can confidently deploy them in India. So these are a few problems, and the author says that let's not buy them altogether because it entails a lot of problems. Let's move on to the next editorial. It says that all the vehicles sold after March 31 from this year onward will have to be compliant to the Bharat Stage 4 standards. It will help in combating pollution because particulate emission from the Bharat Stage 4 compliant trucks are 80% less as compared to the Bharat Stage 3 standards. The Bharat Stage 4 standards was first put in place in 13 major cities, 13 major cities in 2010, but and they could not be implemented throughout the country because Indian refineries lacked the capacity to clean fuel to BS4 standards. Let's move on to the next editorial. It's actually two different editorials from the Hindu newspaper. It's basically a debate: is Aadhaar a breach of privacy? And there's one editorial which speaks for it and one editorial which speaks against it. We'll first do the one which speaks against it. It says Aadhaar is a mass surveillance technology, unlike targeted surveillance, which is good and essential for national security and public order. However, mass surveillance undermines national security. The author suggests the use of an open smart card standard instead of biometrics. Biometrics allow for identification of citizens even when they don't want to be identified. Even unconscious and dead citizens can be identified using biometrics. Smart cards, on the other hand, require PINs and the citizen's conscious cooperation during the identification process. So the author says if you flush down your smart card down the toilet, nobody can use them to identify you. If the Unique Identification Authority of India were to adopt the smart cards, we can destroy the centralized database of biometrics just like United Kingdom government did in 2010. This would completely eliminate the risk of foreign governments, criminals and terrorists using biometric database remotely, covertly and non-consensually to identify Indians. The Aadhaar Regulation 2016 also specifies that the transaction data will be archived for 5 years after the date of transaction. So that is the argument which is against Aadhaar. Now we'll do an argument that is for it in its favor. It says that Aadhaar was designed as a digital identity platform which is inclusive, unique and can be authenticated to participate in any digital transaction. This has transformed the service delivery in our country, conveniencing residents and reducing leakages. Direct benefit transfer, subscription to various services and authentication at the point of service delivery are some of the benefits which have accrued. Aadhaar followed the principle of incorporating privacy by design concept. Biometrics are essential to ensure uniqueness, which is a key requirement for this project. Additionally, biometrics can be used for authentication of financial transactions, getting mobile SIMs, and various various other Know Your Customer platforms. Another design principle was to issue random numbers with no intelligence. This ensures that no profiling can be done as the number does not disclose anything about the person. The Aadhaar Act has clear restrictions on data sharing. No data download is permitted. The only response which the UIDAI gives is to an indication request is yes or no. No personal information is divulged. When a biometric-based authentication takes place, it is the individual who must participate in the process by submitting his or her biometrics. And typical examples of this are at the time of lifting ration from a PDS shop, opening a bank account, submission of digital life certificate by pensioners, etc. The basic purpose of authentication is to facilitate residents in getting service in a digital, paperless and convenient way. The UIDAI does not keep any data except the logs of authentication. It does not know the purpose of authentication. The transaction details remain with the concerned agency and not with UIDAI. This is the best model of keeping data, where the data owner has the responsibility of data confidentiality and security. So these are the arguments which are for Aadhaar. It says that it is not a breach of privacy. Today there is just one more important editorial on handloom sector in India. The time is running out, so I'll do it tomorrow. So that's it for editorials today. Thank you.